Greetings, everyone. It's an honor and privilege to be here today. My name is Ann Chung, and I am the Buddhist DRGL for JBLM. I have volunteered here for many years, since 2012, and I am sharing this honor tonight and today to represent the Buddhist community, the Buddhist Service with Chaplain Sikwan. I am ordained in the Rinzai tradition and ordained in the Order of the Boundless Way, and is primarily Zen. It is Zen in that tradition, the Mahayana tradition. I'd like to open with a prayer, putting your hands together. I pay homage to the Buddha, the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. May all beings be free from suffering and be at peace. Thank you. All right, so Zen primarily works on what is peace. And in the definition of what is peace, we are looking at what is thought. The Buddha emphasized watching thought arise and watching thought diminish. And that peace is the ability to balance arising and diminishing in this moment in time. And in order to present that as an applied practice, I'd like to guide you in this opportunity to meditate together to find peace in the mind by emphasizing that there are kind of 4 steps. The first step is noticing thought. Now we spend most of our days noticing the objects around us and not really noticing how we think about them. So when we do this exercise, I want you to really notice what is the thought about the objects. So I'm going to pick two ways to perceive this thought and thinking. It is through the contact with your hands on a surface. So if you're standing, go ahead and place your hands maybe at your sides and notice the contact with the fabric of your jacket or sleeves. And if you're seated, please notice the contact with your legs. And then I want you to combine that with the feeling that you have through your feet. And I want you to note the contact with your feet have with your socks or with your shoes or with the ground beneath you. And as we do this, we're going to, second thing, we're going to notice thought arising. So directing your attention to your hands, I'm placing my hands on this podium here, and I'm going to have you describe what it is that you feel with your hands in contact with the surface. I want you to describe its texture, its temperature, and I want you to notice that those are your thoughts about your hands in contact with that surface. And then while you are still in contact with the surface with your hands, I want you to direct your thoughts to your feet, and I want you to describe that contact with your feet and your socks or the floor beneath you. I want you to notice the temperature. I want you to notice the solidity of the floor beneath you, ground beneath you. And then, the third thing I want you to notice is want you to notice the thoughts diminishing. So as you direct your attention to your feet in contact with the floor, I want you to notice that your thoughts about your hands have diminished. All right, so we're picking up and letting go of thought. So what does this have to do with peace? Well, if you practice this with mundane objects, such as the contact with the table or contact with the floor that you have at all times with yourself, then you're more likely to be able to do so with difficult situations. So just like your hands and feet, there are difficult situations that arise around us in life all the time. And the idea is to be able to have peace, but still have contact with the things around us that are difficult. So peace is not found by controlling the objects around us, but rather controlling the mind in contact with those objects. So returning to the hands and the feet, notice that as you redirect your mind, that there is a very, very brief, in some cases, moment where there is neither the thinking about the hands or the thinking about the feet. But you only find this as you're moving from one to the other. So this is this mind state that is peace. It is a diminished energy of thought as an energy wave. So when we practice our meditation, if we're using our breath, our in-breath and our out-breath, we are watching our thoughts. So if it is that our mind wanders away from our breath, then we are noticing that it's wandered away from our breath, and we're returning back to our breath. And in so doing, we are picking up and letting go. We are picking up of the thought that is the breath, and we're letting go of whatever thought was the distraction. And it is very similar to this idea of using hands and feet. Most importantly is you're able to notice that the peace is where the thought is. So if the thought is diminishing, peace will automatically take over. So we want to be peaceful and still be present in this moment in time. All right, it takes practice. My encouragement for you is to do a meditation that allows for this to occur. Meditation that allows you to either watch the breath and watch thoughts arise that are not the breath, returning back to the breath, finding peace in between thought arising and thought diminishing. Very important. People ask me all the time about how long should they meditate. They are looking at the mind in terms of its plasticity as little as 2 minutes a day is helpful to the mind. So that is my emphasis for you today here. You'll notice that the body and the mind worked together. So where the mind goes, the body also goes. So I want you to, as you are bringing peace to the mind, I want you to also notice that there is peace in the body and relax the body. And my closing emphasis today is to have compassion. Right now, we need to have compassion in these circumstances and send love and nurture to our leadership and to the nation and to all the world. So I want you to be a cup, and I want you to fill that cup with love and nurture. It starts with yourself. It starts with obtaining peace for yourself and then filling yourself with love and nurture. And then, like a cup overflows, I want you to overflow with love and nurture for all beings. And I want you to expand that flowing outward in all directions to all beings, filling first the room you're in, then the community that is around that room, and then the world as a whole, outward endlessly and boundlessly into the universe. Now, doing this should be done without judgment, without prejudice or preference or hindrance. Just flow, just an outflowing of love. But it really starts with yourself and the ability of yourself to find peace, especially when you're distracted by all sorts of chaos around you. So that's my service and my encouragement for you today. So thank you very much.